I've always felt loved ever since Kennedy Ann was born. Whenever she comes up to us or we're by her, she'll always give us a hug. And she gives everybody hugs because that's how she shows the love that she has for them. She's so happy for family, so happy for friends, so happy with everything. And she is just teaching me as her grandma the little things that are important in life.
Six months after we were married, surprise, we found out we were pregnant. But I was so sure that I was gonna be a boy because she would kick the heck out of my stomach.
We were getting ready to go to the hospital, and I was like, so if it's a boy, it's Corbin, if it's a girl, it's Morgan, and we're going through this whole thing, and she kind of rolls over and looks at me, she goes, no, if it's a girl, it's gonna be Kennedy.
Or Kennedy.
Or Kennedy.
So when she had the baby on the video, I'm like, it's a boy, girl, because it's like all this black hair, and she was big, like she was 8 pounds. I looked at Heather and Heather looked at me, and we just knew it was Kennedy.
Well, today is November 26th. There's Mom and baby home. Mom and Kennedy.
I could not have asked for a better baby. In fact, when we brought her home from the hospital, we left her in her car seat, brought her in the house, set the car seat down in our bedroom, and just thought, okay, we'll get her out when she wakes up. We don't really know how to be parents. What do? We're not quite sure. And she stayed in that car seat for 24 hours, did not wake up. And I said, Jason, is this normal? Are they supposed to sleep that long? And she's always been the best baby ever.
Good morning.
From a dad's perspective, it was so easy to change her diapers. She didn't fight me. She just loved me. I mean, I could just take her and throw her on my shoulder and she'd fall asleep.
Just snuggle up in her little blanket and go right to bed. On Kennedy's first birthday, we sang to her and gave her her little cake, and she was in her high chair and she looked down in it and didn't quite know what to think. Most kids will just touch it with their fingers and taste it. Not Kennedy. She loves food. She grabbed the whole thing and shoved it right in her face.
And she just looked around like, this is good.
She'd set it down, look at everybody, and pick it back up and start chowing until it was all gone.
A couple words I come up with when I think of Kennedy is play, Barbies, more Barbies, and Barbies. We were obsessed. All the cousins all the time would just come together once in a great while, and that's all we would play with.
And she even gave me a Barbie for my birthday one time. It was like this little parachute guy.
I'll never forget, Heather called me and she says, I found the dollhouse for Christmas. And I was thinking, like dollhouse, like maybe like this big or whatever, and literally there was this dollhouse that was like as big as my house. She was so excited about it, and Kennedy was, I think, 3. So Christmas morning, I'll never forget, sweet little Kennedy comes out, and she looked at the dollhouse, and she just ran over and just hugged us. She was just so grateful.
When we found out we were going to be meeting Anna for the first time, she was in the foster program and she was about 4.5. We told Kennedy there's a potential possibility that you could be getting a sister. Anna came to the door with the caseworker for the first time, opened up the door, had this big smile on her face, and walked in like she owned the place. And Kennedy just went over and just squoze Anna and just gave her the biggest hug. And said, come up to my room. Let me show you my room. Let me show you the toys. And she pretty much drug her up there.
Kennedy took me up to her room, and we just went up there and we played dolls and we played Polly Pockets, and she just took me up there and we just went and played and had so much fun.
Are you excited?
Kennedy opened up her room to her clothes, her toys, her friends, everything that Kennedy had, she shared with Anna. And we were able to adopt Anna a year later. And Kennedy's never been selfish about anything she's had. She's always wanted to share it with her family and friends.
I remember feeling loved. I remember feeling grateful to know that I was going to have a little friend to grow up with, someone to always be there for me. We were inseparable.
No, you silly.
School.
School. Are you excited?
I had the pleasure of being Kennedy's first grade teacher. I remember when her and Anna Banana came into my class, and I was so excited to see them.
Hi, Kennedy.
Our class motto was we were the can-do kids, and Kennedy was a great role model to everybody. She was a true can-do kid. She never said can't. She always believed she could do anything, and she always wanted to strive to be the best she could be.
Kennedy was very, very smart. She's always got good grades. She is the ultimate speller. She's so good at it. And she got along and just loved everybody.
Kennedy has always been very driven, but also has always reached out to other people at the school. And I remember many times she'd come home saying, I made a new friend, this friend was new, and they didn't have any friends, so I invited them to come play with us and eat with us. And she would come home year after year after year telling me all about the kids that maybe didn't have as many friends or who kind of got left out.
If she sees someone who looks like they're having a hard day, she'll wander over to where they are and sit by them and just start to carry on a conversation. And sometimes all they need is a smile or a hug, and that's just how Kennedy has always been.
I mean, anytime you got an activity like the Easter egg hunt or whatever, some of the little ones would maybe have some trouble finding something in the corner of your eye. You could see her out on the side, slipping them an egg or helping them find one and then letting them pick it up.
She always likes to include people, and I remember a really good memory up in Bear Lake for one of our family reunions, and we had 3 bunk beds. But Kennedy, she wanted everyone to sleep on the bed. She didn't want anyone to be excluded. So we fit all the cousins on the 3 bunk beds.
There's the kitties.
Well, and Kennedy, when she was 7 years old, almost turning 8, Anna had gotten a special birthday invitation from this little girl named Kinsley. And on it said to Anna, I'm having a birthday party, but it didn't say Kennedy. And usually when either one of them would get an invitation, it was meant for both of them. So I called up Kinsley and I talked to her and I said, is this invitation for Anna and Kennedy? And she says, no, I only want Anna to come. But I told Kennedy, and Kennedy was really disappointed and sad that she didn't get to go to the party. But a month later, Kennedy had her own birthday party, and she made out her list of who she was going to invite, and Kinsley was on that list. And she said, Mom, it really didn't matter. It didn't matter if she invited me. She's my friend, and I want to invite her.
She's always been like that. Because I think, in her heart, she knew
they needed a friend.
They needed a friend, and that's, what she did. So she went to school, and she announced to her class that everyone was invited. Every single girl from 2nd grade came to her party. And there was like 30 girls here, and I about went crazy.
Go, Mandy!
Reeling.
Keep reeling.
Whoa!
Kennedy loved to go hunting with Jason. Anything to do with the boy type stuff, she would get dressed in her camouflage gear when he was in it.
She'd have her camo on, hair in a braid, hat on, boots on, hunting boots on. She's like, let's go hunting. So I started to bring her bird hunting. We'd shoot a bird and she'd go up, pick it up and pet it. And then she'd look at the colors and she would always notice the little things like, Dad, look at the colors in here and look how beautiful the feathers were. And so she really made me appreciate all the beautiful things about it.
But I remember her as a little girl and thinking, what a little stinker. And by that, I mean, she was always full of energy. She always wanted to test the boundaries, not necessarily being naughty, but she was an explorer.
Oh, don't kiss it, no.
When they went pheasant hunting, Jason had cutting off one of the pheasant legs. And she wanted to just feel it, this claw. And she figured out that if you pull it, the claw will do that. She went up and found her sister Anna, said, Anna, come look at this pheasant foot. And she'd start pulling it, and the claw would be grabbing at her. And she would chase Anna around the house until Anna was in tears, bawling, and she thought it was the funniest thing ever. She had a way of just making anything become a joke and fun.
But she had a Dickens side in her that was always such a surprise.
We used to have sleepovers all the time when we were little, and we were playing doctor, and we had this little kit, and Kennedy pulls out the syringe, and she goes, Jenica, open your mouth, I need to do something. So I open my mouth, and she just shoves it down my throat. I was like, ah, Kennedy!
Kenny's a little jokester. I was home. Heather came running in, and she goes, Jay, my car is gone. And I thought, what? And she goes, and the girls were in it. And somehow, Kenny got out of her car seat. And she
was
put
trying
it in
to
reverse,
tease Anna and thinking she was really
thinking
cool.
she was funny. And she put it in reverse and went for a ride across the curb. And she hurried, got back in her chair and just buckled herself, was like this. And we opened the door, and Anna's like, ah! Ah! And Anna was just screaming bloody murder. And Kenny was over there going, you know. We said, what'd you do? She says, I went for a drive. Like, she had no hesitation. She's like, I went driving.
Practicing my bike.
I guess it's important for all of us to be willing to step forward and explore.
There you go, you're doing it.
When she first was exposed to going water skiing, I thought, she's going to be afraid. And she was, but she did it because she wanted to experience it. That has been an advantage to her because I think she has allowed herself to be able to say, I'm entering into new territory, but I'm going to explore it, and I'm going to do the best with it that I can do.
In second grade, Kennedy started taking horse riding lessons from a lady down the street from us. I got a call from her, and she said, Kennedy fell off the horse. I think her arm's broken. She was so brave. She had quit crying once I had gotten there, and Kennedy just kept telling me, Mom, it's going to be okay. I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And did that ever stop her from getting on horses? No. She loved it so much and didn't let that stop her from doing what she loved. She just got right back on, kept riding, and so she's quite amazing.
We first started noticing that Kennedy was having problems with her eyesight. When she was really young, she had to get glasses.
In preschool.
In preschool.
She got glasses, which is an uncommon.
Which was a common thing. Probably when she was about age 9, I was coaching her soccer team and Anna's soccer team, and Kennedy was a good little player. We were playing in this tournament, and the ball came to her, and she went right by it and kind of like kicked the air. And I said, I got mad at her. I got upset with her. And so I pulled her out of the game. I said, Kennedy, you've got to, this is a very close game. And it was for a tournament we were in. I said, you have to go after the ball. She says, I'm trying. So I put her back in, and she did it again. And so we got home that night. I said to Heather, I said, I think you should go get her eyes checked. But she fell one day at school. She fell really hard.
And her face was completely swollen. Her teeth had gone through her lips. Her eyes were turning black. Her nose had been bleeding everywhere and just completely swollen. And they had explained to me how she had fallen at the playground because she didn't see the difference in the levels of the asphalt. As I was talking to Kennedy about that, she just said, Mom, it's okay. Jesus will heal me. Everything will be okay, Mom. Kennedy's always had great faith. She's just been born with it through the different trials she's had in her life, and good and bad. She's always looked at the positive in everything and just had so much faith of believing the good in everything.
If you ask Kennedy about faith, there's no doubts in her mind. Kennedy, do you believe in Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ? Yes. Are they real? Yes, they're real. There's no middle ground with Kennedy and her faith.
One night she said a prayer and she said, Heavenly Father, if this is what you want me to do, if this is how you want me to be, you want me to be blind, I'll be blind, if this is what you want. And I often think about that and think about how strong she is, how She's taking the trials that she's been given, and she's just, just facing them.
She is such a strong person. Even through this whole time where she started losing her sight, you never saw her feeling sorry for herself. She tried to make the best of things. And I think part of that is her faith. She's always willing to share what she believes and share that faith with other people and kind of strengthen their own faith.
When Kennedy left elementary school and went to junior high, at that point, her learning was on a definite decline. We all thought it was because of her sight. Because Kennedy could tie her shoes, brush her teeth, put her clothes on, talk with her dad, talk with her mom, go to dance, go to soccer. You know what I mean? She was just a normal kid. And Kennedy, I think it was hard for her socially going to junior high. She was never in band. She never did any of the school sports. She never tried out for cheerleader because she was declining so fast, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong.
How old are you?
13.
13? What's one of your favorite things to do?
Horses dance.
Horses and dance.
Kennedy has been sick now for a few years, and we really didn't know why or what. And it's been difficult for us to watch. But Kennedy seems unobstructed by that. And she seems to have just the ability to look beyond it. And she has a lot to teach us.
She's taught me, even if you're going through something hard, you can still be happy.
And how was that going?
She's taught me how to be happy about stuff, and if you're ever sad, you can think of all the good things.
She's taught me a lot of compassion and love. I have never seen her judge anybody. She always has something positive to say about everybody.
She's taught me how to stay positive, and when I'm sad, she always comes and cheers me up, and she's just always so happy.
She just knows that Heavenly Father will give her sight back when she gets back to heaven. And that's why she's always so calm about what's going on.
When we went to the movies, she couldn't see. I said, Kennedy, how do you have fun at the movies? She said, Grandma, I listen to the story, I listen to the music, and popcorn's the most important.
She just embraces what life is for her, and she makes the best of it. And what a great example to me and to all of us.
I think that she's also been a great influence in our family. We know that she's now challenged with Juvenile Batten Disease, but it has also created a bonding with our family. Everybody in the family is rallying to Kennedy's aid. But the thing that's unique is that as people try to comfort her, they find that she is comforting them.
She calls me all the time. And one interesting thing about that is Kennedy, on a couple of occasions, has called me in some difficult times. One of them was probably the worst work day of my life. And Kennedy called me and just said, how are you? How are you? She's very inspired. And when she called me, I told her, I said, you do not know how important this call is today to me.
You can always tell that she has the Spirit with her. I think it's just by the Spirit that she follows what she needs to do.
One day, I felt like she loved me because even though she was blind, I got hurt, and she ran inside the house and told my parents that I got hurt, and she felt that I was hurting really bad, so she gave me lots of hugs.
Kennedy just has her own little niche. I couldn't quite say it. She's just the one that is just happy all the time and just wants to be involved and just wants to spend time with the cousins. And they're all in sitting on her bed looking at the dolls and watching the movie, and she just has a way of bringing them all together. You know, they know that they need to spend time with her and they enjoy spending time with her, and she's just excited and so sweet that they just like being with her.
It's been a growing experience, I think, for all the grandkids. I think they've learned to think of others more than themselves. And Kennedy's been the catalyst for that to happen.
Because of her spirit, she's brought a softness and kindness into our home of 4 boys.
There isn't a family prayer that goes on without Kennedy's name being mentioned. And so I think it's made them strong in the gospel, and it's made them more selfless, and they love her dearly, and we all do.
So recently we just kind of had our Humphreys family reunion, and as a little tradition, we take a whole bag of coins, and we had a pool, and we just kind of throw the coins all in the pool, and we all go diving for them. And it was hard for Kennedy because she can't see, but every single time she held her cup, she put one more coin in when she wasn't looking. People who just had a whole hand of coins, and they would put it in her cup. And just showed people love her so much, and we all care about her so much.
One of her main dreams is just to be an influence on people. She really wants to share who she is as an individual, the hope that she has from a day-to-day, and she really wants to just share that with people. And she's had a lot of dreams along the way.
She wished that she could get a sister, and she did. Then she also had another dream of having a little brother. That dream came true. And then her other dream was to be a cheerleader. And so I took her to a couple of the football games this year, and we walked the track, and some of the cheerleaders would come over and hug her, and she thought that was just so cool. And one of the cheerleaders was so impacted by Kennedy. And so behind our backs, they made this massive effort. They were able to put her on the squad, and she is now a full-time Fremont High School cheerleader.
And the other day, Kennedy's cheerleading coach, Jill, got all the cheerleaders together and said, "Kennedy, tell us, do you have any challenges?" And Kennedy said, "No." And the coach thought, "Oh, she must not understand the question. Let me just ask it again. Kennedy, you don't have any challenges, anything hard in your life right now?" And Kennedy says, "No. Happy. I'm happy." She doesn't look at all the difficult things in her life as a challenge. She just accepts it, and she moves forward. And what a great learning experience for those other cheerleaders, because they were taught something that day about challenges in life. And so Kennedy is not only touching our family and teaching us, but she's touching so many other people.
Kennedy is very special, and she has made her mark on many. And I will never forget Kennedy. She's taught me to be more kind and understanding and loving of others. She's taught me that sometimes just sitting next to someone and holding their hand or giving them a hug is a big thing for them in their day.
She helps us to realize what's really important in life, and it's family, and how, without even saying very much, she can bless and touch more people's lives than most people can do in their whole lifetime.
No matter who she comes in contact with, she wraps her arms around them, and she lets them know that she loves them. Guarantee if you meet her, she will wrap her arms around you, and the first thing she will say is, "How are you? How are you?" Because she genuinely cares for people. She wants to know how they are, and she wants everybody to feel her love. She will always tell you she loves you, but when you hug her, you will feel of the goodness, the beauty that she has inside.
You ready?
Yeah, we already did it.
Okay.
We
love you, Kennedy.
Love you, Kennedy. Hope you see this. Bye-bye.
Hi, Ken. We love you. Kennedy, you're awesome. We love you, Kennedy. Kennedy, thanks for being an example to us and following your dreams and sharing this year. We love you. You're Fremont's angel,
love you, Kennedy. I love Kennedy, and she's one of my favorite cousins.
I love you, Kennedy.
Dad, I love her.
And I just want to tell you, Kennedy, that I love you and that we'll see you soon.
We love you, Kennedy.